We don't talk about this enough, but men like Jace are just as diabolical and dangerous as the rest of them, except for they present very passive and pitiful and helpless. And so a lot of people literally don't notice that these men are some of the worst and most vile abusers that get to exist right under everybody's nose, while also being held up as the standard of like a good relationship, of a good man, etc. Meanwhile, this man's literally been tormenting Michaela since she was 16, and it's gotten to a point where her body is literally rejecting him, and he still won't take no for an answer. You need to understand that a lot of men, when they are not considered traditionally masculine, big, strong, provider, etc., they adapt, right? Like a parasite, they adapt in order to still be able to survive and extract what they need to extract from the patriarchy in order to receive the benefits of it. This man is absolutely no different, because what 21-year-old man looks at a 16-year-old and says, I'm gonna get her pregnant, and now wants to sit here and cry to the whole world and put her on blast because their intimacy has suffered, and like they're not having sex, and it's such a deal breaker for him. No, it's not a deal breaker for him is not having to have a job, being able to be a stay-at-home dad while his wife brings in all of the money. Once again, this is yet another case of a man who turns even more diabolical than he was before once his wife becomes the breadwinner, and once he doesn't have that leverage to hold over her head anymore, but also can't say no to the money. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna adapt into like a less threatening seeming, less harmful seeming version of what everybody considers to be a patriarchal man to be. And they're gonna abuse you just the same, except for this time they'll have a lot of people on their side, including your friends, including your therapist, your family, etc. They're all gonna tell you to stay with him and just make it work because he's so nice. But he's not actually nice, right? Because again, once again, the kind of man looks at a 16-year-old when he's 21 and says, I'm going to make a wife and mother out of her, is a man who already feels weak and insecure by patriarchy standards. That's why he had to prey on a literal child when he was 21 years old. Trigger warning, and as she's unpacking some sexual trauma that happened to her as a child, he is making it all about himself. And I know that in this season it starts out with Michaela being the one to kind of bring it up and start talking about it. But really, eventually you see his behavior that probably caused her to start feeling like self-conscious about their sex life and their intimacy, etc. When she first starts talking about their situation in episode 7, it's basically like, oh, we haven't been intimate for like months or weeks or whatever. I just want to stop right there and say that it's okay not to feel like the most sexual creature in the world. First of all, at any point, you don't owe anybody that. And if your spouse, if that's really a deal breaker for them, they can always walk away. But at no point do you owe it to anybody to just be able to flip on a dime and embody like sexual goddess energy at like however many weeks pregnant she is in the show. You don't owe anybody that. Let alone, you much less owe anybody that as you are trying to unpack your past sexual trauma, and it's probably killing your libido. It's probably making you feel unsafe to relive all of that. And here comes your pouting man-child of a helpless, pitiful husband to make you feel like shit that all of these things happen to you because this PP feels sad. Well, tough shit, man. Her PP is about to feel really sad when a baby comes bursting out of it. There's no words to describe what she was feeling when she was being sexually abused as a child. Like, it does not matter how your PP feels about all of this. Men are so diabolical about this. They literally will be like, yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. A couple months of like reduced intimacy, which obviously they're still having sex. She's pregnant all the time. Literally never not pregnant. So they are having sex. She's traumatized because every time she has sex, he gets her pregnant. I don't know, but instead of looking at himself or instead of being like, hey, maybe this is just a good chance for us to take a step back from intimacy and let you heal. Just let you carry out this pregnancy without the concern of like how this is affecting me, like whatever. Like, you are literally carrying a baby. It's not about me right now. It's about us and this baby that's coming. It's about us versus your sexual trauma. So what do I need to do? And then when she says that her libido is at like 1 or 2, and he's like, oh yeah, mine's at like a 10, like I would do it like 3 times a day if I could. It's like, you're not reading the room. Why does it not matter to you? Why do you only care about what you want? Like, seriously, this is so exhausting. And it's exhausting to me that just because he looks like a sad wet sock, that everybody feels bad for him and thinks he's such a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. The way that he acted when she was like, hey, can we please not have sex? Like, it's just not, the vibe is not right. I wanted to make it work, but it's just not working. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm pregnant. These hot tubs like suck, whatever. I just want to go to bed. I'm just too tired. The way that he acts the next day is like textbook just abusive, and nobody catches on. Not to mention, if I had to spend 1 minute witnessing that man, the way that he was acting in the hot tubs, and that he was just sitting there acting like pitiful, completely helpless, completely passive, like, I would have gotten the ick. I would have had to leave the villa or whatever. Like, I just would not. He was so disgusting. And then the next day, he's literally sitting there like ominously playing the piano. Obviously, he's very moody. He's very upset or whatever. And she's just sitting there on the stairs like disassociating completely because she knows that like he's acting weird. And then the very next thing he proceeds to do is go take shots with everyone, which is against their religion. And Michaela has been known to sort of hold that in frame a lot more than some of the other members of Mom Talk. Some of the things about the religion are very important to her. I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm saying you know your wife's values. You know that she would be like humiliated by you taking all these shots and like getting drunk. He takes a second shot, you know, just to piss her off. He's just not making her feel safe. And it just feels like he will not let her heal. And it sucks because clearly they're doing therapy in like Utah. And so every therapist is so dumb and male-centered that her therapist literally made her stop doing the healing work, the EMDR work that was actually helping her, in order to put that on hold and then go to a SMEX therapist with this loser. This poor woman feels so broken. She feels so traumatized and so helpless, and he just won't let her heal. He just walks around following her, just pouting and like just won't let her live her life. Like, she was so pissed off at him at Stagecoach. And you could just tell she just wanted to be like the fuck away from him. You don't care about me. Like, you don't want to make me feel safe. Like, he wants her to feel pressured. It's like he wants her to know that he can always just fly off the handle. Like, oh, now I'm taking shots. Like, now you never know what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll cheat on you. Maybe I'll divorce you. Like, all of these things, like, he's like ungluing her life further instead of like being a stable, safe place for her. He's using the fact that his pee-pee is sad to justify being impulsive and doing things that he knows will hurt her or make her uncomfortable. At the end of the day, she spent 5 minutes with her friends talking about this shit around a fire pit. And the fact that chat, they were chatting, I mean, we see 5 minutes of footage, like who knows how long they were talking, whatever. But it's the fact that she's been to therapy multiple times. She's been living with this man, living with him. Nothing that he has said or done has helped her. Like, sitting down for one chat with her friends and opening up about this to them for the first time, like, really helped her gain clarity, and obviously way more helpful than everything that this man has ever been able to contribute to the situation, which is once again walking around looking and acting like a wet blanket, just hoping to get his pee-pee wet. It's funny because when she was talking about them having intimacy and everything like that, like, they clearly don't have physical chemistry, because she had to be the one to initiate that. She had to be the one to initiate like sitting in his lap, and he was just so awkward about it. You can just tell that he like expects her to do all the work, really puts no effort towards it, because as somebody pointed out when they were talking about this, she had some sexual abuse happen to her at 15. They met when she was 16, and somebody rightfully pointed out that her response to sexual abuse was probably to be hypersexual in response to that. And that is probably around the time when he met her. Instead of being concerned that her behavior changed, as in how is it affecting her and like what is behind the change, he's just upset that she is no longer the traumatized hypersexual 16-year-old that he was able to trap with 3 children. Please make no mistake, a quiet, passive man can still be very patriarchal, can still be abusive, and if not abusive, then at the very least unloving, dismissive, and self-centered, and will only think about how your problems, your trauma, your pain, etc., how does it affect him and his peepee. So yeah, please stay safe out there, ladies. I love you so much. Godspeed. Mwah.